85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
I have an important question for you, Andre.
Love it.
And I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
I maybe should have prefaced you here. I'd like for you to rank the social media that you like. Rank social medias in order of like, I like this one the most and this one the least.
Right now?
Yeah, right. Yeah, currently.
Twitter.
Number 1.
Instagram.
Number 2.
Facebook.
Sure.
Are there any other?
I mean, there's LinkedIn.
Oh, probably Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I genuinely actually enjoy, even though LinkedIn is a cesspool, still better than Facebook.
And then if you were to slide in, I know this isn't really a social media, but Reddit, where would you slide in Reddit?
Oh, like on my like scale?
Yeah, like would
probably
you?
Twitter and then Reddit. Just on how many hours I spend on it.
Oh yeah, and
Instagram, I would delete Instagram if I could.
And Snapchat.
Snapchat I don't use anymore.
It's fascinating because I had a conversation about this with somebody where I really feel like I went on a journey with social media.
Yeah.
I used to be a big Facebook homer. Like
Same.
I was like, it is the best platform. It does it all.
When I was in high school, middle school, we were all on Facebook all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And then Instagram came out and I was kind of like, Instagram sucks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, you put this like fancy picture of yourself. Like, how cool are you?
I remember like right before Instagram really blew up, I was like, Instagram's dying. Nobody's on Instagram anymore.
Right.
And now everybody's on Instagram.
Well, and this is what happened. This is my theory. So I went from Instagram to Snapchat. So I did a similar thing. I was like, Snapchat sucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, Snapchat is tight. I love Snapchat. And what I realized, what I liked about Snapchat was kind of this authenticity where it's like you couldn't really dress yourself up. It was all real time, and I really liked that about it. And then Instagram rolled out my stories, which was like, that's kind of what that was it's like, hey, it's like not a fancy picture or whatever. So then I was like, no, Instagram, I don't even use Snapchat anymore. Exactly. And then really Twitter took over Facebook for me.
Yeah.
And kind of gave me that like, I don't know, this is better content. Like Facebook content's trash.
It's horrible. I just came around on Twitter very recently.
Yeah.
But now I follow a number of accounts that I like.
I will say this, and this is going to lead into the idea we'll talk about in the show, but I think most people use Twitter kind of wrong.
Okay.
This is why I say this. If you talk to a lot of people, they're like, yeah, Twitter is just like so negative and down and lame or whatever, Yeah. Which is like, yeah, there's a ton of negative.
I feel like I only perceive on Twitter what I choose to perceive.
Well, to me, the way to use Twitter and Thieves, you can,
you can copy the Scott.
If you've been tepid on Twitter, let me tell you how to use it. Use it like you would use Reddit, which is you should be subscribing to a broad range of things that you're interested in to fill your feed up with a lot of different topics. Mm-hmm. You should not just follow your lame friends who are yelling at Delta and a bunch of like people who are very political. Like that may be interesting to you, but like that will get very negative very quick. And so you'd be like, I don't want to be here. I'm just getting grumpy and mad at stuff all the time. Like you need a little bit of that, but you need to follow your interests. You need to follow the sports teams you like. You need to follow the tech and like people who are not
completely agree. You really need to think of it like Reddit.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, here's a topic I'm interested in. I'm going to go follow 15 accounts about it. And now Twitter's great.
Especially if you find people like somebody who is retweeting a really funny person. Mm-hmm. If you follow those people, you will have
you have a great feed.
You have a great feed. Anyway, that's Twitter tips. Go ahead and steal that, Thieves.
Scott's Twitter concept.
Let's do a podcast.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're going to steal the ship.
Commandant, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
For someone like you to steal?
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Steal this idea.
Hello again, Thieves.
We're back.
We are back.
With another episode of Steal This Idea.
The only podcast where every week we give you genius business ideas and encourage you to steal them.
For free.
We
currently do not charge for the podcast.
One day. We got a good show.
We do.
We got 2 good workshop this ideas that we are going to bring and bolster up and turn into big ideas of their own. I'm going to open up the mailbag. We got some good ideas.
A couple emails that we want to read.
Yeah.
Right?
And then, of course, I think
good idea, bad idea.
Good idea, bad idea.
Yeah, I have some good ones. Do you have some good ones?
I have a backlog of really good ones.
Yeah. It's been a good week for good idea, bad idea, I think.
Yeah. I go in strings. There's just like nothing for months. And then all of a sudden, like, wait a minute.
It's weird. All of a sudden,
ad
spend exploded again. I don't know.
Well, let's hop into a little good idea, bad idea. By the way, I don't know if you saw the email. Kelsey Dahl emailed and said that one of the sound effects, if you listen to the last episode, I asked our producer Diego to play sound effects to transition to the next segment. And there's 3 sound effects we usually cycle between. There's one that's like really short. And anyway, she emailed, she's like, hey, that one that's really short, don't ever play that one again. It doesn't fit with the flow of all the other sounds you have.
Kelsey, and I trust her judgment. I really do.
Yeah. So
fair.
we will make a concerted effort not to use that sound effect.
Scott, remind us, what is good idea, bad idea?
Good idea, bad idea, thieves is we get targeted ads, me and Andre, for a whole host of things. It's usually bleeding edge, kind of tech, interesting things. It's usually stuff that we stop and go like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah. Is this even a good idea or is it a bad idea? Could we make it a good idea or a bad idea? So we capture a couple of these, bring them to the show. Sometimes Andre gets excited and he buys something.
Sometimes.
And sometimes we just trash on all of them. So that's good idea, bad idea. You go first, Andre.
So I think you and I have 2, just from scrolling through the chat, I think you and I have 2 similar ideas.
Oh, good.
Or 2 things that maybe could be coupled together.
Great.
So my first idea is hustledrops.com. Hustle, like hustle, drops, like drops.com. Hustle drops, they kind of have an ad that shows people putting hustle drops on their tongue. They're in kind of a little dropper-like container. And what hustle drops builds itself to do is it relaxes your airways, increases your oxygen intake. All you have to do is drop, breathe, and hustle. What do you think, Scott? Like a very different product, right? Like clearly not another gum, essential oil, vitamin.
Yeah, I like that it's not just like a caffeine thing.
Yeah.
I like that it relaxes your airways and increases your oxygen intake. That's a really interesting value prop.
Yeah. Really, it's just peppermint oil, just to get it out there. So what it does, like, clears your sinuses, and it gives you that sensation of like, exactly.
Well, that's really depressing.
A little disappointing.
Yeah, man. I was hoping it was something I hadn't heard of.
I know, but
yeah, I clicked science, and it's like hustle drops.
Do you know how much it costs? Have you gone that far yet?
I haven't.
So it's like about the size of a bottle of eye drops.
I mean, it seems like someone's taken the peppermint essential oil.
Yeah.
And they've taken off the lame cap and they just put like an eye
dropper. Have you seen the price yet?
Well, I'm going to order here.
What do you think it will cost?
Let's see, $40.
That's a lot. Am I the only person that's like, that is an extreme amount of money?
Oh, no. Like
it's $58.
Yeah. It is a lot. That's, I mean, in Utah, essential oils, for the thieves who are listening who are not in Utah and maybe aren't aware of the essential oil stronghold that is in Utah. Yeah, essential oils are like this.
Here.
It's a huge thing. And yeah, they're like these tiny little bottles that are all like $30 to $50 a bottle.
Well, this is in that range. It is $58 for a little bottle of Hustle Drops.
Yeah, this to me seems like this is exactly what somebody did. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna rebrand, which I actually think is a good idea. I think essential oils is I don't want to offend my thieves because I know they would probably
be careful.
I don't particularly buy into services that are marketed through a network.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, if your product is good, you can put it on the shelves at Target and Walmart and it's worth buying. Like, that's just what I believe.
Kind of an exclusionary thought, though.
It is a little exclusionary.
Right? But everybody should be able to start their own business. And sell product just like everybody else. Right, Scott?
I'm feeling attacked right now.
No, I'm just, I just am representing both viewpoints.
Yes, good. Well, I actually think this idea is really a good idea, which is to take unessential oil, which they all build themselves to like do lots of things. There's like the icy hot one, and there's peppermint, and there's one that helps upset stomachs. I think you could rebrand one of these and call it Sick Juice.
Sick Juice.
Shout out to one of my favorite episodes. Yeah. I thought about repitching Sick Juice because I feel like you weren't bought in, but
I felt like I was fine on Sick Juice. In any case, this is essentially a dressed up peppermint oil.
Mm-hmm. Hustle Drops. I would never buy this. It's just peppermint oil, which you can get for a lot cheaper than $58, by the way.
Yeah, but they are 100% organic.
Well, I'm going to move into mine, which I believe is the one you'd pair with this, which is Neuro Gum.
Yes, I've heard about this for years.
GetNeuro.com. So this is not saying that it's caffeine gum, which is something that you can get at 7-Eleven.
Already exists.
This is Neuro Gum. So it says refresh your state of mind. Functional gum and mints to energize, calm, and focus you in the moment. That's what it builds itself to do here.
A pretty website, no doubt.
It is
a great
pretty.
brand.
Apparently they're on Shark Tank, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this, like, you want to get in, there's the slump. This is one of their things on the website. There's the slump on one side and then the jitters on the other side. And there's right in the middle is the zone. That's where you want to be. Not that too much caffeine, you're jittery, you're slumping, you're tired. You want to get in that zone. And apparently Neural Gum can get you there. Also only available in peppermint. Peppermint apparently a super
Makes sense.
supplement.
Makes sense.
So the gum, which looks like a package of Nicorette gum, is $21 for, it looks like 9 or 12, maybe 12. Oh no, what is it? 6-pack, 54 pieces?
21 for 54 pieces of gum.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Well, still kind of a lot of money. I'm not like, wow, that's a great deal.
Because usually if you were to get like one of those
Orbit.
Orbit, like
big things.
Yeah, big things, those are probably like $5.
Yeah, and easily 51 pieces.
Yeah.
It's expensive gum, for sure. My thought is I find that peppermint gum kind of is naturally focusing on energizing.
Sure.
Like I'll pop a piece of gum if I'm feeling a little tired.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'm convinced that this works. Other than that, I think gum is naturally kind of awakening.
Does it say, so there's natural caffeine and then L-theanine and vitamin B6, vitamin B12. So
Nothing will beat a bang. So it's just kind of, it's all pointless to me. If you can't rise to the currently best energizing material on the market, then what's the point?
But is Bang NSF approved and WADA compliant and FDA compliant?
I don't know if it's FDA.
It's definitely not FDA compliant. I'll tell you that.
I mean, they're only selling it in stores. So. Yeah, I kind of think this is a scam. That's my personal opinion.
I will say this. This is about as lovely as a scam website as you're going to find.
It is. And I don't think that, I mean, again, I don't think that they are literally sitting in their corporate office and they're like, ha ha ha, nerd. Look at them. I just don't think that.
Well, this is just caffeine gum is what it is.
It really is. It's just pretty caffeine gum.
Yeah, which I actually think, again, there are a lot of things that you see at the gas station. You're like, what is this rinky-dink bull crap that is just like being shoveled across for like the lowest denominator? Like, I actually think there's a market for just churching up a lot of these dumb products. Be like, oh, I need some fancy caffeine gum.
Should we get a membership?
Gross.
Never run out of Neuro with a monthly subscription.
Who?
Can you imagine subscribing to gum?
Oh man,
Just nuts.
this would have to be the most delicious, amazing gum in the world.
I mean, there's just nothing. There's no single food item that I'm like, I have to have this on a subscription. So I never run out.
If you were going to be subscribed to one piece of candy on a subscription that just came once a month, there's a couple, maybe like a half dozen. What would you be
A
subscribed?
half dozen?
Yeah.
I got 6.
You're not gonna have a candy bar every day. Come on.
I thought that maybe. I didn't realize that was so offensive. Probably an Almond Joy.
Really?
I love an Almond Joy.
Oh, Air 5 from Diego, the producer.
What's yours that you could eat 6 of a month?
Probably a Fast Break, Reese's Fast Break,
I do like a fast break.
or York. I'm a big York peppermint patty guy.
That sounds awful.
Diego.
The thing is, I was like, church up York peppermint patties and sell them as like energy, right? Like this.
No.
This is, and like almost make it a breakfast food.
What?
Like honestly, that's the same thing that these two companies are doing. They're taking the peppermint flavor.
Peppermint for breakfast? That sounds so weird.
I know, but it's a brand. It's a brand play. You're like, these peppermint patties are for breakfast. You eat them.
It's
It
like,
wakes you up, and it
it's like a
refreshes your airways.
It's like, yeah, like having a cup of coffee, have your morning York.
Yes, exactly.
Peppermint after you brush your teeth wouldn't be gross.
Exactly.
There's an argument there.
Literally, that's the next step.
Thieves, I want you to write us in or tweet in what candy bar you would put on the subscription service, and if you would ever, in your right mind, subscribe to any gum. There's just no way.
No.
Let's do. You want to blitz?
We have to do my next one.
Is this the Smucker's one?
Yes.
And is this is real?
This is real. This is to a Target.
So
page.
I follow an Instagram that is like all they do is fake brands, and it's literally stuff like this.
This is real. So what this is, thieves, Uncrustables. We all know Uncrustables. Right?
Everyone knows Uncrustables.
They're these little freezer aisle PB&Js with the crusts cut off in these little sealed pockets.
There's pretty much just 2. I think there's actually 3. There's grape jelly. Mm-hmm. There's strawberry jelly. And then there's like a chocolatey, like a Nutella one.
They used to make a grilled cheese.
Really?
That was good. I had it when I was in elementary school.
I've never had that.
They were freaking tasty. Anyway, these are Uncrustable frozen beef taco bites. They're little pockets stuffed with beef crumble, cheese, salsa, and taco seasoning.
These look disgusting. They honestly look so gross.
I don't know. So when I saved this, I was like, oh, we're going to laugh about how disgusting this is. But I'm really hungry right now. And I'm kind of like,
how bad could they be?
I could die for an Uncrustable taco bite right now.
Here's the thing to me about tacos. Maybe I'm wrong here. Diego, correct me if I'm wrong here. To me, part of the taco experience is like, they're this kind of beautiful, you have like the lettuce and the onions, and then you have like the shell, right? Like it's like a whole thing. It's a presentation, right? Like the white or corn tortilla.
But this isn't for
offsets the tomatoes. Like it's a whole thing, right?
This isn't for that mood. This is for
2
a.m. I'm binging.
I gotta get some protein, instead of just scooping a thing of peanut butter.
Here's a fantasy that I entertain.
They look like sloppy joes. Is what they look like.
I love sloppy joes. I'm probably one of the last Americans. I don't cook at all, Thieves. I've said this on the podcast multiple times. But there's nowhere to get a sloppy joe. I regularly will make sloppy joes at home.
That's funny to me. If these were billed as sloppy joes, I think I'd be like, oh yeah, some like sloppy joe, like Uncrustable. It's like a sure, but like tacos.
I like the idea of a sloppy Uncrustable.
I don't know about this.
The beef just falls right out when you bite it.
Yikes! All right, I'll do my last one here.
Okay.
This is I've gotten this out a few times now. Maybe you've seen it. So this is SND Ray. I think it's Sand Ray. The best hi-fi bone conduction sunglasses. Now we've had another.
We did.
This is a while ago.
Very long time ago. We talked about another bone conduction.
And I think that those were like ski goggles.
I think so.
That you had like you could chat with your friends or something like that. Yeah. These are basically just like Ray-Bans that have Bluetooth speakers in them, but instead of like you've seen ones that have like a speaker that kind of comes down, like going. Mm-hmm. These are like it's bone conducting, so it's just like vibrating in the
however that works.
So it's an Indiegogo, but it's music. It's make calls. It's Siri enabled, and they're $120.
First of all, I hate Indiegogo.
I know.
Second of all, I think that more people need to have a place like a Best Buy or a mall kiosk where they can try bone conduction.
Sure,
because it's just hard for me to visualize like what it sounds like.
I mean, there's a lot of gifts that people be like, that's insane. Yeah.
I believe that it does work, but I want to hear it so that I know.
Yeah.
What's the deal, right?
What is the deal? I agree. This is hard to be like, I'll just spend $120 on something that might totally suck.
Yeah.
Those gifts don't send. But next gen hi-fi sound though. Did you know that, Andre?
I love that. I mean, it does sound kind of fun to be like making calls on them.
I really love the idea of I put on my sunglasses and you can't really tell that I'm listening to music. Like headphones are kind of a whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this idea, like I could be legitimately listening to something and you would have no idea. It's not the AirPods. Like you have no idea if I'm paying attention. I'm kind of into that.
Can you imagine? Like, first of all, take out the sunglass portion and just make them regular lenses. That's college students sitting in lectures all over America.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Paying no attention. Kids sitting in classes everywhere, like literally listening to podcasts.
I wonder,
listening to Still's idea, and their teacher doesn't even know.
I wonder if they would check on like a testing center for these, like if they were regular glasses.
So I will say, I recently took a professional certification test, and they made me actually take off my glasses and like show them.
They like did the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then they
presumably to see like if I don't know if I had headphones or something in them.
Yeah. So they'd probably catch that. That is Good Idea, Bad Idea. Thieves, if you have any Good Idea, Bad Ideas, please send them to us at ghoststealsidea.com. You can email us there or follow us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. You can
tweet us. Easy way to send us a Gibby.
We get a lot on Instagram, actually. People Instagram us Good Idea, Bad Ideas, which we love. Okay, Thieves, it is time for the big ideas section here. So what we're going to do, both Andre and myself have workshop ideas, which are basically like, they're almost ideas. They're almost big ideas. But, sometimes Andre's got the right half of the brain. Scott's got the left half of the brain. We want to really just bring it together, see if we can just flush it out. And maybe it is good. Sometimes we bring an idea. It's like, that's as good as is. Mm-hmm. You just need that validation. Who do you want to go first here, Andre? Diego, who should go first, me or Andre? Diego says me.
Scott first.
Now, we talked about, Andre, social media a little bit.
We did.
We talked about Twitter and Reddit. all your feeds, right?
Instagram, Snapchat,
Yeah.
Facebook.
For the purposes of this, though, Twitter and Reddit.
Okay.
Because what's interesting about those platforms is Facebook and Instagram are meant for you to keep tabs on like your friends. And with Twitter, you kind of get that, but really it's to like keep tabs on like strangers and the world in a lot of ways. The same with Reddit. Like you follow your interests, but you also follow topics, right? And I think everybody has kind of like their news checking habits, right? Mm-hmm. Would you care to tell the thieves kind of like
my news cycle?
Your news cycle. Like, what do you typically like? You check a couple places, or like what
Generally Reddit, the news section in their official Reddit app. Twitter, trending topics.
You have like
I would say that's the main.
You don't go to like a site, I always like to check,
No, I don't really subscribe to like any, this is the news source I use, like Washington Post, New York Times, anything like that. I just get these aggregates that send me to articles that are important.
Okay. A lot of people, I use Google News a lot. I kind of like sift through.
Really?
You don't like that?
Well, it's because you're an Android user, I bet.
Yeah.
So you like hit the Google News app or something and you're there.
Yeah, but I do it on desktop a lot. I really like their.
I've never met a Google News user.
Oh, on their desktop, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I think because I'm a Google or an Android user, there's like a kind of a U section, so it like curates a bunch of stuff that like you probably get interested in this, right? Yeah. So there's news, there's tweets, and there's Reddit. There's all this stuff that we're checking constantly, and I think we're in a realm where we've reached a point where even our phones are like, hey, there's this thing that lets you know you've probably been on your phone too much, right?
Yes.
And so I think we're kind of having this like identity crisis, like, okay, I'm checking my phone too much, probably. And we're like addicted to it. All these things are meant to be addictive. 24-hour news, everything, right? So it got me thinking, I would love it if there was a service, and what I'm going to call this service is called Notable.
Okay.
And there could be something like this that exists, but I don't think there is. And this is not necessarily an AI aggregate per se. What Notable is a person. It's almost like what Stitch Fix is, where a person, like you kind of tell them what your style is, they like kind of put together a thing for you. What Notable would be is basically I would be almost like an account manager for like 1,000 people or 500 or whatever. There's a capacity there, and you basically fill out a survey or questionnaire of like, all right, what are you interested in? Like here are some topics, like what are the stories that you would like click into and like actually want to engage with, right? Because really what I want is most of the tweets and most of the news articles are like stuff I don't care about. Every once in a while I was like, oh, this happened. Oh, a particular trade happened, or a particular game that was really, like right now in Utah, the Utah Jazz were up 3-1, and then now like the series is tied going into the 7th, right? And it's like, I don't really follow a ton of sports, but it's like, oh, that's notable. I should know that, right? In working conversation, right? There are things that are happening, right? And so what I want is a service where I have a profile where somebody can basically be like, they can sift, be like, I think you'd want to know this. And then basically I would choose the frequency in which I'd get these roll-ups of information, right? So it's nightly or weekly for some people. So at the end of the week, they're like, hey, here's all the stuff that happened that maybe you missed because you were busy or you're just trying not to be sucked into your phone. I like in every couple of days type of thing would be like, every 3 days, like, hey, here's a little roll-up of all the stuff that you particularly would care about. And I think it would have to be run by a person. Maybe not. Maybe you could figure out a way, but like there is like I don't know, like people have an intuition of like, oh, anybody would care about this. This goes out to everyone. Yeah. Or especially the people who are like in this profile, like you would learn really quickly. And then I could basically kind of like rate like, oh no, like yeah, this was good. No, less of this, more of this,
I like it. I think it's a good idea.
That's Notable. That's what I'm calling that.
I like Notable. I like that it's a little bit of human curation. I think it hits on a lot of what we're asking for as a society.
Right. I don't really.
So you'd have it like send an email, or what's the notification?
I think a text or an email. Yeah, maybe both.
One of those. A way of getting you a message, basically.
I mean, if you look at things like The Hustle, and I mean these like kind of
that's really what I compare it to.
These modern newsletters.
Newsletters are kind of hot right now.
Yeah,
or were hot last year, I would say.
But newsletters are like they're broad and be like this is stuff that people would care about. Whereas this is like a hyper curated newsletter that's like, all right, I'm making a newsletter for Scott.
Yeah,
and then like
How does it scale then, do you think?
I'm not sure. What I was just the idea that just came to my mind though is,
what if it were like 10 people? Like, so basically it's like you go to notable.com and there's 10 profiles and it's like,
either this
and
guy,
you're not picking who you are. You're actually picking the kind of person. Like, so there's like Jenny, and Jenny is a political analyst in Washington, and she loves dogs and she loves to hike and she cares about the environment. You're like, I want to be on Jenny's notable.
Well, my thought was, you'd have these, you'd have a bucket of profile types.
Yeah.
And
I kind of like the idea of like, it's not just, there's not another person on the end of that. Because even the hustle, it's like, you don't really know who is curating it for you. But wouldn't it be kind of interesting if it was like kind of like dating, you know?
Oh, you find
swipe right on this person.
This person is like finding,
and it's not like not anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Right? They have a page and it has a headshot of the person and like a profile.
Yeah.
And you're kind of thinking like, who would I gel with? And then maybe it like, doesn't really work out. You're like, this isn't really what I'm interested in.
This isn't working. It's not you, it's me.
It just seems kind of interesting.
Well,
and it innovates on the newsletter concept a little.
One thing I thought about as you were talking is kind of this gig economy concept of like, what if so it's like, what do you charge for this, right? Yeah. Well, I think if somebody was like delivering constant, media or content to me, and it was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, wow, I didn't even know that, right? Like I would have had to dig for some of the stuff. Mm-hmm. If somebody's like, well, I like digging for that stuff, I'm doing it anyway, and I could basically build a newsletter for you, and then you almost like tip me or like you subscribe to my lane, and so I'm like doing it as like, I get $2 from you, and I get, I couldn't win Diego's business, so like, and I can manage a handful of like profiles and try to fit people in lanes or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
interesting. A lot of different ways to do it.
Anyway.
So the spinoff idea that like hit me like a truck at the beginning of this was, so we have screen time on our apps that tells us like if we're spending too much time on Facebook or whatever. But what's challenging about social media is it's so inundated with different types of content. It's like Twitter. It's like there's a mix of like COVID-19 news that I just don't want to consume anymore. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was an app that was like kind of like screen time, but for social media, like the actual content, and you could be like, okay, I'm done with news for the day. Like, or maybe like it monitors how much time you're spending on, like how many news tweets you've consumed, how many news Instagram posts or whatever.
That's interesting.
And it's like you hit blackout on your Chrome, and it like now you're done. There's no more news in your feed.
Yeah, like you've been spending too much time in politics.
Yeah,
you
can hit a button that's like, okay, news done, and other types of content too. It's like, I don't know how that would work. I don't know how it would look, but the concept of taking social media and just trying to make it like a little healthier and a little easier to control.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just like you kind of just consume whatever comes up next, and you don't really have any control.
Yeah.
You have control over who you follow, but not maybe when you're just spending too much time in the wrong lane content-wise.
Sure.
I wish there was better controls over that.
Yeah. Yeah, or even just better analytics around that. Right now it's like, here's how much you used Facebook. And it's like, well, or like I have one where it's like Slack, right? Yeah. Which is a work app, but we use it a lot for like group text basically.
Yeah.
And so it would be like when it's like, oh, you've been on Slack for X amount of time. It's like, well, yeah, but I was like chatting with friends, which is not the same
as overworking.
And same with Twitter, right? Like it's like, or, I think in some cases Facebook, like I might get into a discussion with someone on Facebook, which is really different than just like mindlessly, looking through whatever.
I just think it would be great if I was on Twitter and I could just be like, okay, I just need some jokes. Like I need to filter out all this news content.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big, so I've been trying to use TweetDeck a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think the best way to do, a way I'm experimenting with Twitter is basically you make lists of all the different subcategories you're interested in and basically cycle through your lists. It's not really like baked into the app greatly though.
Yeah.
I wish that Twitter was better at just like, hey, like here are your 3 feeds. Like make 3 feeds for yourself and like move things around. You basically just like go in and out of feeds of like, all right, I'm ready to be mad and like I want to like learn about.
I'm in a headspace.
I'm in a headspace where like I need to know what's going on and like I want to get feisty. And it's like I got to get out of this headspace. I need cats and I need memes and I need like satire and whatever. And it's like I think
what an idea like that would look like.
I think definitely needs to be more of that just across.
Just content, the ability to like self-police.
Yeah, especially on Facebook, man.
Yeah.
Man, if I could,
I know,
because I think muting
Facebook is basically unusable,
right? And I think muting has been a good thing, but like also like I don't really like, I don't know if it's Facebook. Some of them have, it's like you can mute for 30 days or whatever, which I think is actually a really good feature. But like, really what I want is like, I just don't want to view your stuff constantly. I just want to like put it in a different place, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Something to think about.
Notable. Thieves, let us know if you think Notable is a good idea, if you'd use like a custom curated, like a newsletter basically, but it's like a roundup of everything that you'd want to know. You know, a couple times a week or weekly or monthly or whatever. What's your idea, Andre?
So I have kind of two that I think you can help me develop. The first one is SQL. Ever heard of it? It's like a essentially,
SQL?
yeah. So it's like essentially it's a really, I don't know if you call it like a programming language or really what you would call it, but it's a really common tool for analysts,
Right.
And you use it to like query databases.
A VLOOKUP.
Sure. It's in the realm of VLOOKUP. And anyway, so I've been thinking about like how to, I feel I'm fairly competent in SQL, but
Okay, here we go. Well, I don't know if you know this, Andre, but Jason Sudeikis liked my tweet, so we're both cool.
I know. But kind of the concept is I found an app the other day that was like for teaching SQL, and it was like you're a police detective. And so SQL is like fairly boring as a concept. It's like look up how many pounds of rice are produced in Omaha. It's like it just isn't that interesting. But what this was is basically like an app where it's like you're solving crimes by looking up information in different criminal databases in like a game environment.
And you love a good crime
solving. Another thing I really love is Jurassic Park. And Jurassic Park, like a major theme of Jurassic Park is around the computer system, right? And like being locked out of it and all this stuff. I was thinking if there was and then I played another game recently on Steam, and in that game, it required that at some point you actually go into the game files and like delete a file in the game files.
I know what game you're talking about.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember I listened to a podcast called Filthy Casuals, and they talked about this of like, you get to a point and like, it's like the game's kind of messing up.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's kind of a spoiler.
I watched a playthrough of this game.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a weird game.
Yeah. You get to a point where you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And like, what you're supposed to do is like go
into the game files and delete something.
And that's how you like progress.
Yeah. And these are all concepts that I've been kind of playing around with. So this police detective game, though, it's like maybe 50 minutes long. It's very short.
Yeah.
But I was thinking if there was a room in the world for a game that was like a combination of coding and database and analyst type work, mixed with a game environment where, like Jurassic Park, like the system's been hacked, you've been locked out by a hacker or whatever, and now it's like, okay, how do we reverse engineer this problem? And it works you through a couple of different like coding type challenges and data and analytics type challenges.
Sure.
But it's like it's not something. It's not like, okay, you play this in your 7th grade. It's not Oregon Trail, right? But it's a game that's designed around these concepts, and therefore is really super unique gameplay, but also educational and builds your skills.
Interesting.
And where I go is like this Jurassic Park, where it's like the system is down and you have to get the power back on, and it's like, okay, we go into the power directory. It's like a little puzzle there, and there's
you have to like figure it out. Mm-hmm. So what this reminds me of, I think we talked about this a while ago. I have one beef with escape rooms, which is that escape rooms all lean on about a dozen puzzle mechanics. That
they really are farming like just the same list of different.
Right.
Open a box, find a combination.
Yeah, there's a periodic table of elements that's got letters. You got to, whatever. It's a mirror. And one thing that I think is strangely absent from escape rooms is this idea that like you're going in with 12 people. And the odds are that like one of those 12 people can like play the piano, or like probably pretty good, or at least can play a couple notes, knows what a C chord is.
Yeah. Utah, 100% of the room.
Yeah, 100%, right? Or like knows sports trivia, or can like recite something that like, whatever.
Some outside knowledge could come into the escape room.
Or they could figure out how to do that, right? They could look up on their phone what a C chord looks like, right? And it's something I think would benefit a lot of escape rooms, just like bringing this stuff in of like, no, like challenge people, like phone a friend, find somebody who could do it. And like, that's how you have to do it. Yeah. If you have to be great, that's all the faster for you. Like you want to bring in talented people, learn some talent. Yeah. And so I really like the idea of, you have this like fun scenario. I think Jurassic Park is a great one where it's like, okay, we want to, use these skills. So something like SQL, but also just like investigative skills that you would have. Like one of our neighbors she is like a big crime junkie. And anytime there's like something going on, she's like, oh, did you know? Like, and she's like part of these like snooping groups. So they're like looking up, oh, she was actually a sugar mama, and like so-and-so did this. And did you know they like buried the kid over here? And like, oh, you'd like, I mean, the way that she's able to extract information is like crazy, right? And so to be able to bring some of that into this like game environment, I think that's really interesting. Yeah, and I think coding is one. Being able, I remember a long time ago there was like an online thing, like trying to get to the end of this thing. And one of the things was you have to like open the source code, and there was like a message in there. Yeah. And I remember as I was young being like, what's a source code? And being like, whoa, this is what a website, like, and that type of stuff.
Room to innovate.
Yeah.
In a lot of these categories.
Totally. Yeah. And yeah, I like the idea of it being like, hey, this is a way to like learn some entry level SQL, to learn some.
But also in like a fun, fast paced game environment.
Even just like, hey, like you get a data file, it's an Excel file, and you have to like sort through data.
That's exactly what I mean though, right? It's like, I think people would be into that for the same reason that people are into like solving crimes.
Totally.
Right? It's like not necessarily every single part of it is thrilling, like shooting bad guys, but there's something else that's thrilling, and like puzzles that are maybe a little more real life.
Well, and especially if it's something that you know how to do, or like, oh, I actually know how to do this.
Yeah.
You can lean on building a logic equation somewhere. It's like, oh, no, this does this and this. Like, like that could be really, the payoff there could be really great for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think that's
somewhere interesting to kind of noodle on a stylus joystick concept.
Yeah. I feel like someone at Google could come up with like really a group in Google could be like, let's knock this out just for fun as like an orientation.
Something like that.
What's your other idea?
So this is like kind of like here's a problem I have, and maybe you can help me solve it.
Okay.
So a problem I have right now is I don't know what flipped. I just started a new job. Thieves out there. I'm at a new company. This is exciting for me.
Did you get a new backpack?
I did not get a new backpack yet. I know. Well, here's the thing is I'm not working in an office. So it just, your whole concept kind of changes.
That's a callback to last pack. Andres allegedly says he buys a new backpack every time.
And freaking Diego messaged me and was like, we got to get a new backpack. So you just started a new job. I do need a new backpack. It's on my list, but COVID. Anyway, what? Diego's giving me a look. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's like, well, for what use do I have a backpack? I'm not going anywhere.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, true. Literally to transport my 16-inch laptop, which is huge. Quick review of the Apple MacBook 16-inch. Literally too big to be allowed. It's just like so freaking large. Anyway, and also like I've had a 13-inch MacBook essentially my entire adult life at this point. So it's very natural to me to have a 13-inch. That's the size that my arm has come to know. So a 16-inch just feels too big. Anyway, so what has changed in this most recent role is, you're onboarding, you're learning so much, you're thinking about so many different things that you want to do and projects that you want to start. But something I've taken to doing is I have like a transcription app on my phone, and I, like an old person, just like talk into it. And I'm like, oh, I met with Kyle today and Kyle said this, and I had an idea where maybe we would do this, and then it just transcribes the whole thing, right?
Okay.
And what's bothersome about it is it spits out this like kind of paragraphized transcript of everything I said, and it's generally fairly accurate. These are the pros. The cons is that I'd like for it to be structured like Google Doc, like with headings and bullet points. And I feel like AI has come to a point. AI is to the point where it can take my voice and accurately transcribe it. Couldn't it also like parse it into information that was more usable, like bullet points and headings, and like even graphs or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting because what's that new big AI coding thing?
That we keep like joking about it in our group.
Yeah, everyone's like crapping their pants.
I can't remember it, but
HR 11
something. There's like some big new AI technology that everybody's like, this is going to change everything.
It's going to change the whole world, which, sure, maybe it will. But the idea behind that is that like you can be like, build me an app that has a map and does this and does this. And it's like, whoop, and it just does it, right? Which is like insane. But I think to your point.
To the same token, I should be able to say.
Well, yeah, like there's a gal I work with who she'll work on these projects for marketing, and the way that she structures it, there's like a table of contents, and there's it's like very well put together. It's easy to access information. It's like, man, I don't really do things that way, but man, I can see why if you got in the habit of doing it, that'd be really great.
Yeah.
And it seems like you could be like, all right, I'm going to open this app that like understands, or if I say, idea, you know,
Heading.
yeah, you know, or whatever, some keyword. It's like boom, and it's like could do dot, you know, list this and this and this and this and this. Yeah. Great, next section, you know, and like
And
you
parses it and like even improves it, right?
Yeah,
it makes the writing a little bit better. And even what I think would be cool is if you could say things like, okay, process diagram. Point A is the sales rep. Point B is the customer success rep. And the line says handoff. Right. And it's like, if it could do that, like that alone would just save so much time.
Yeah.
And also just it would up level my business communication 1,000 times because it would be so easy to put together really great communication documents. Even if I did have to go back over it.
Yeah. Even really basic workflows where you're like, for, you know, stage one, this, if when this happens in stage two, if yes, then this, if no, then this. And it's like, boop, 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 and like builds a little, simple workflow.
Totally.
Be awesome.
Would be crazy. And I think AI can do that.
The technology is for sure here.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of building.
I don't think it's necessarily cheap or easy or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there is like a huge business use case, I think.
Yeah.
Around just like voice to business process documentation.
I'm gonna think on that. There's a bigger idea there, Andre, I think.
You think?
I think so.
That you're gonna make a big idea in a future episode?
I think maybe we'll come back to it. Because I think there's enough to chew on there. I like that idea.
Whatever.
All right, thieves, we're gonna wrap up the show, but first we're gonna hop into the mailbag really quick. We have one idea from Keenan, which I'll read here, and then another email from another thief here. So this is from Keenan. Keenan says, "Hey Scott and Andre, I think you do not drink," talking to me, but believe you still...
I don't exist on the podcast. A running theme, which is that Andre doesn't... I do drink, thieves. If you'd like to send me a bottle of wine, whiskey, whatever for Christmas, go ahead.
He says, "I think you can still understand the concept of this idea. It's sort of a taxi-like service for people that are too impaired/drunk to drive home. So this always happens. Someone will drive to a bar, a restaurant, a party with no intention of drinking or getting drunk. One thing leads to another, and they end up being too drunk to drive. Many, many, many times, this person does not want to leave their car at the place and worry about it getting towed or finding a way back, to get it picked up, spend money on an Uber back and forth and whatnot. So they decide if they are sober enough to drive home when they really aren't."
Yeah.
Have you been in this situation before? Or like...
I would always just get the Uber. Let's get that out there.
Right.
But yes. So what's funny about this idea, and all the credit in the world to Keenan, because this is a concept that is real and it's a real pain point. But basically every drunk group of friends at a bar have been like, why isn't there an app to get my car home? Like It's very common.
So he says, my idea would be, if you come across this sort of scenario, instead of risking driving home when you shouldn't be or leaving your car at the bar, you call this taxi-like service. What the service provides is 2 people in one vehicle drive your destination, and one of the employees drives you and your car home while the others follow you home. You arrive at your home, the duo leaves at your house, you pay a tip based on a standard distance mileage service. Great app for the service too, no charge except when you use it. The only issue that I'm coming to think of is insurance claims. What happens if the taxi driver gets in a wreck while driving? Whose fault? Who's liable? Yada, yada.
There's a lot of liability questions. But yeah, this idea has been floated about 1 billion times among drunk friends that are like, I just can't bear to leave my car here. It's a complicated topic. And what's annoying is going back the next day and getting cars. Like, it's a very, very painful process. There has to be a solution to. And I think if you could figure out the liability piece, it's like, I'm down to pay for the guy to get to where I am for whatever the price is there, and then to drive my car home, and then I'll Uber him back to wherever home base is in the Salt Lake Valley. But it's not cheap, but that's the cost of like driving out to the bar, which you just shouldn't do.
What about this?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not somebody... There was a time when
you were the DD.
When I was the DD with my friends in Seattle. It was a fun time.
Right. And drove a famous football player?
I drove Golden Tate.
Yeah.
Drove Golden Tate around. That's
I know him.
One of my claim to fames. Anyway, it seemed like it was like, hey, we're going to go do a bar crawl. We're going to go to Fremont. We're going to this bar. And then like after that gets bored, we're going to this other bar and then maybe another bar and then go home. Right.
Right.
Pretty common.
Very common.
So what about this as like an iteration of this idea? Is you anticipate that people are going to be doing these bar crawls often, right? And so you basically take like a park and ride area, and then you have a shuttle that is just like, hey, like you park here, like that's the first place you go, and you're like, we're going to the bars. You park at this place, and there is just a constant shuttle going like, hey, we're going to bars. Like you can Uber home, you can relax that it's here, right? If you want to make your way back here, great. This shuttle's going to be going to all the main bar call bars. So if you needed to get back to your car, you could, or you just take an Uber home and grab it later or whatever. But then this avoids, it's like, I don't want to get towed. Like it's a no tow, and maybe there's a gate there or whatever. But like, it's just a parking area specifically. We're like, hey, we're going to bars.
Yeah.
Would that work? Would you?
Totally. I think, yeah, because you could put this is a great idea because you could put the actual parking like not in downtown.
No.
Which would be, that's the challenge, right? Is
Yeah.
that you're
It would be just
in
close.
a complex parking environment. And yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just like parking right at the shuttle. And it's like, I'll pay with the premium on that. But even like beyond that is one thing we could culturally change is like parking garages downtown and parking. It should just be clearer. Like, can I park here overnight?
Sure, yeah.
Right? Like that would solve 99% of this problem.
Well, what'd be interesting too is what if so maybe that's what the company does is you go work with these parking garages that are downtown and maybe you have like hey, give us the top floor, which never gets used or rarely gets, and so if somebody does leave it there,
It's like a revenue share.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to fill your garage every night because maybe it's not on the beaten path. Maybe it's not by the bars. Maybe it's just not somewhere somebody would park for bars. But it's like and it's a business parking lot, right? So it has nothing happening on Friday and Saturday.
Right.
And you're like, we're going to fill your garage and you'll get 80% and we'll get 20%. And then we have a shuttle that picks people up. And that's how we economically make this a good place to park.
Yeah. Now you're closer to downtown. You're making use of space that's not being used.
Yes. Because there are hundreds of parking garages that are business.
Totally.
Monday through Friday. And I imagine they just can't fill them up on the weekend because they're not in the right spot. Something to think
Maybe
about.
we solved it, Andre.
Parking in bars does need to be solved.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's like 100-year-old problem.
I know.
But yeah.
There we are.
Something to think about.
One last quick email here. This is from Jeremy. Jeremy sent us an email, I think a couple episodes ago. But he says, hey, Diego, the producer, he recommended one of his favorite YouTubers that he wants us to try and collab with. So this is a YouTube called Stuff Made Here. So he's like, I make stuff. So he like makes robots and he makes like funny innovations to things. Like he just like puts them together or whatever. And he says, it seems like, he would be the jelly to STI's peanut butter. It's creative that, he wants to see if we could try and do a co-op episode with them.
Yeah.
And nothing would make me more excited than to hear an idea, what, like we come up with an idea and then have him like actually make it because that's what he does. And he's like, man, if he could make that Amazon box crusher / cutter, that boy could dream.
That is a big idea.
Also, did I tell you that a thief
wrote in and was like, Amazon boxes, they're the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, first of all, we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Second of all, people get it. People understand what I'm talking about.
People get it. Yeah. So you were right. Yeah. That was Alan Hauser.
Yeah.
Our favorite new listener.
Our favorite.
Anyway, so that's going to do it. Thieves. Again, we gave you the socials in the middle of the episode, but
find us on our website. That's the easiest way. GoStealThisIdea.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Send us an idea via email is one way. idea@GoStealThisIdea.com, or give us a call at our number
888-416-4332. Yeah, donate to our Patreon if you want to support the show. That would be awesome for us. And yeah, just
rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that stuff.
All that stuff. So our Stitcher listeners, we're grateful.
We love you.
We love you.
Diego says he loves you.
He does love you. We appreciate you, Thieves, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.